I want to talk for a few minutes on what it looks like to engage in the global mission as a life group. Now, one of the things that I think has been one of the most meaningful things in my group is over the years inviting some of our overseas workers to come in and share what God is doing around the world in our group. We're blessed at Grace to have a plethora, a bunch of overseas workers that will come back on a regular basis, share with us some of the God stories as things they're doing around the world. Then we'll go back on the front lines of ministry. And one of the things that I've noticed about our overseas workers is many of them, the majority of them, are targeting unreached people groups. These are places that are hard to reach. All the easily reached places in the world kind of have been reached already. So now we're down to the harder places. And in the past few years, we've just seen, especially since COVID hit, just incredible opposition to getting the gospel out to all the darkest places in the world. So, in my group, I've got a couple of different overseas workers that we had share and are now out on the field. And so, once a month, what we do as a group is we have a time where we pray for the two overseas worker families that we've personally connected with as a group. If you don't have a worker family you guys have connected with, I encourage you, man, I'd love to connect you with some and start having ones that you have a relationship with and start praying for them once a month. And what it looks like is it's a couple days before our group meeting. I'll email our two workers and say, hey, we're going to pray for you guys this coming Thursday. What's something we can pray about for you? And then you get those back. They also regularly send out great newsletters with God stories and pictures. And I bring those to that once a month prayer time. And we just spend about 10 to 15 minutes just recapping what's been going on in that family and then praying for them as a group. It's so meaningful. One of the overseas workers that I recently connected with, he said, when he was here on break, he got tons of emails from people and tons of interactions with people. But he said he moved back overseas, and he said the email traffic from people at Grace dropped off by about 90%. And he said, what's interesting is my email address didn't change. I just wasn't in church on Sunday. And I send this, he said he would send his newsletter out to all these people, and he would get, 500 people he would send out to, and he'd get one or two responses. And I really connected with that. And I said, man, I want to be a guy. I can't do it for everyone. But I want to be a guy for a couple of people that when they send a newsletter out, I reply with, I got it. I'm praying for this. And by the way, I want to share with you something going on in my life so you can stay connected with me relationally as well as me reading about what's going on with their families. So that's an important thing. One other thing I do, even though I have two people that we're connected with that are overseas, is once a semester, I'll have another worker, just someone who's in town, come and share with our group. And so that's just something that is a wonderful way to give you a global perspective that you won't get from the evening news, that you won't get from just Googling different things. It really give you a contextualized local perspective of what's going on around the world. If you need a list or you want to know who's in town, you can email me, Jonathan at gracearlington.com, or you can always email our missions pastor, Dawn at gracearlington.com, and we would love to connect you with an overseas worker that's in town and then help you get connected with their prayer lists and help you really bring that global mission to your life group.